I'm sitting down one-on-one with outgoing Governor Eric Holcomb as we talk about his legacy, his successor, and his future. I sat down with the governor on Monday. Nearly 8 years in this office, serving as governor during some very interesting times, too. What's your proudest accomplishment, and what, if anything, would you have done differently as governor?
Yeah, I think in general, what I'm very proud of is just our conduct and the way we've gone about waking up every day, aligning the government sector and the corporate sector and philanthropic and academia. A lot of good has come out of those partnerships and that cooperation in terms of new jobs, the economy of the future. We're ushering in a new hydrogen hub, a new microelectronics hub, a new biotech hub, One Health Innovation District, LEAP District. Billions are being invested in the state of Indiana, all over the state of Indiana, not just in one central area. And then, of course, finishing I-69 and double tracking the South Shore Line and building out our broadband internet connections in rural areas that have never had it before, with a lot more coming, building trails, connecting communities. So many things I'm proud of that in 10, 20 years, knowing that we've been planning strategically for where Indiana is going to be in 2030, 2040, we're well on our way.
You seem to pin a lot of those successes on your economic development efforts, which I know you've really championed.
Yeah.
You also expressed some concern throughout the campaign this year that the candidates weren't as vocal about that topic, or maybe didn't share all your views on it to the same extent. Have you spoken with Governor-elect Braun about that? What do you think his approach will be when it comes to economic development for our state?
Well, I'm 100% confident that Governor-elect Braun will place a heavy emphasis on growing the state of Indiana, as he did with his business and as he's conducted his life to date. So don't have any reservations about that. And to each their own. Governors have different styles, they have different personalities, they have different priorities, different relationships. And I know that he has talked with lots of folks that are involved in our LEAP district and on 30 up in Columbia City, Warsaw, Fort Wayne, all the way over to Valparaiso. So all these projects, whether they be infrastructure or new jobs, if your economy's not growing, it makes it harder for everything else you want to do. And he has also expressed, rightly so, how we need to contain cost and as a state, and leaving more dollars in someone's pocket to begin with, but also it makes you more competitive. And so for a state like Indiana that relies on high talent, low cost, and great sites, I'm confident that he'll be focused on all three.
You won't be here when this budget session concludes, but are you concerned at all about this upcoming budget process? Last year there was the situation with the Medicaid forecast, nearly $1 billion off the mark. There isn't as much federal money to go around now either. What kind of position will your successor be in this year fiscally as he takes over?
I think in a strong position. We've over the course of my time goes back to 2005, and I've seen ups and downs, whether it be 08, 09, global pandemic. When I came in, our budget annually was about $15.5 billion. It's about 22 now, post-pandemic. So take the federal dollars aside, we're growing. Our GDP is growing. You have to be able to grow the economy, not just cut costs. Always think about cutting costs. And if you're in the federal government, you've got an equation where you're $35 trillion in debt and you're trillions every year in the hole just from the start because your expenses are more than you're bringing in, then you're going to have to quit digging, number one, and also grow.
Broadly speaking, what's the biggest piece of advice that you'd give or have already given to your successor?
That this job, and I say this from personal inspection and introspection, this job is the first time any of us have ever had it. And for that reason and that reason alone, it's unlike anything you've ever done before. And I've talked to enough of my gubernatorial cohorts around the country who come from different walks, different parties, different businesses, or from within government, or who have served in the military and gone right into office. It's different for all of them. It's just a different responsibility. And it's one that I think requires you to be humble and recognize that you're going to be learning every day on the job, first day to the last day. You're going to be learning.
Politics can be a pretty nasty game these days. It can be divisive and sometimes focused on things that aren't always the most solutions-oriented issues. You've tried to stay above that fray to some degree. Do you think your party can rise above some of that here in Indiana and beyond as we enter the second Trump administration?
I certainly hope so, and the way you do that is by having a plan and sticking to it, not taking the bait, not getting distracted. We've tried to always have an agenda that is a plan, that is a step-by-step attack, if you will, on whatever topic we're trying to address, be it education, health and wellness, growing the economy, building roads, whatever it is. We have a plan. And we try to stay focused on that and try to know what's going on that's trying to distract you, but not be diverted off course. And to always say there's room for you at the table if you want to be constructive. I've said many times in different venues, I'm in pursuit of progress, not someone's perceived pursuit of perfection. And if we can agree on 3 things and get 3 out of 10 done, let's get the 3 done, instead of saying we don't agree 10 out of 10, so we're not going to work together.
How do we change that dynamic in Washington? There always seems to be that divide.
I think it requires examples, and I think it will require people to say enough is enough. We need some good role models, a plan that's in place, and people that are focused on that.
I've heard you say a few things about the federal government. I've asked you a little bit about the federal government, so I've got to ask you too. Do you think you'll ever run for office again in the future, whether that be federal level, state level, wherever?
I'm not thinking about it. It's almost, to me, Exhibit B. Exhibit A is the state of Indiana, which I'm passionate about, and have devoted my life for longer than 8 years to. I worked for 2 of my predecessors. And so I've seen how Exhibit A, it can work effectively, that you can have good policy in place that promotes growth and development, and didn't start with me. So I'm not trying to take credit for everything good that's going on, but Exhibit B is the federal government that has been dysfunctional at best. And we're going to continue to pay the price in terms of our economic security and national security if we don't right that ship pretty soon. I'm not volunteering to go out there myself, so take my opinion for what it's worth.
But you're not ruling it out either, it sounds like.
No, but I'm going to spend the next 2 months thinking more so about the rest of my life, and being able to help an organization or companies grow like I've devoted my time to help the state of Indiana grow.
All right, meantime, we also asked Governor Holcomb about the big question on everybody's mind, who he's rooting for in the college football playoff when IU takes on Notre Dame on Friday.
It just doesn't get any better. And I will tell you this, I'll root for one and pray for the other, and I won't tell you which is which.
So are you going, and what are you going to wear?
I don't know if I'll go, but my wife and I talked about, if we do, how we're going to have one of those kind of house divided,
or something,
kind of ND and IU equals win.
Big game Friday night.